Is the W95 just another cheap Android TV box? Well, it's running the latest Amlogic S905W processor, which is based on the original S905, but has been tweaked a little bit, and Amlogic have released Nougat for it. What this box has got going for it is that the fact that it's built by a company called Beelink. In our experience, Beelink are fantastic in terms of build quality, as well as producing some fantastic Android firmware, as well as providing excellent updates. So let's dive into this review and see what this W95 box can do. My name's Matthew and you are watching the MXQ Project. Well, can you spot the difference between these two devices? Well, this one over here, this is called the Beelink X2. It was the first cheap box to handle 4K at 30 frames a second. It was priced around £19 from what I can remember, and it was a really nice piece of kit, really well made. And as we know, Beelink, they really focused on making sure their firmware was top notch and delivering updates as and when they were needed. We're not seeing too many cheap devices since then from Beelink, but this W95 seems to be one of those devices that really stands out. It's really cheap, it's £19 for the 1GB RAM version, which comes with 8GB of storage, or about £22 or £23 for the 2GB of RAM with 16GB of onboard storage. Now that translates to about $30, I think. You can go out and check that for yourselves. But so far, this box has really been quite good for the money. So let's dive into the actual unboxing now. Let's see what you get for your money. So this is really nice packaging for a cheap TV box. It's not something I'm used to seeing. On the back here, we've actually got all the specifications, and this device comes with 2GB of RAM, 16GB. There is a 1GB version, of course. And overall, yeah, this packaging is really nice. It's really nice and bright, and I really like the actual design on the front. So let's open it up and let's see what we get. So here is the W95 TV box, and it comes in the same case as the Beelink X2 as we showed before. Obviously we don't have the power button, but overall it's basically the same casing, and it's quite unique to Beelink. I think I've not seen it on too many devices, this casing. We've got an instruction manual here, very pointless, just a piece of paper basically. There's not much going on here, just a video tutorial, QR code on the back, and some more of this nice bright packaging. Really like that logo. And inside we've got this very, well, we've all seen these before, very basic IR remote. Nothing too amazing going on there. We've got HDMI cable, and yeah, that's alright. And we've got the EU power supply, fantastic. So yeah, overall, I think this packaging is really good. I'm really impressed by it. When we first turn on the W95, we're greeted with, well, what I can only assume is like a Windows 10 style loading screen. It's a bit slow, it's probably intended to do that. I'm not sure it's really needed actually, but there we go. It's just a little bit quirky, I guess. So welcome to the W95 launcher. It's actually not bad looking. It's quite nicely laid out, it's nice and bright. It's straightforward, to the point, and everything that you need is right here. Now, if we go to the settings, we can see, if we go to the about, we can see this is running Android Nougat 7.1.2, which is great. Now, so far, so good. Everything's running nice and smooth, and I've got absolutely no problems with this, the actual, browsing through the menus, seeing how it all works. It's not glitchy, it's not lagging, everything's nice and quick and snappy, as I would expect it to be from this processor. As well as that, obviously, Beelink have, from our experience, always go to town when producing their firmware. So as you can see, we've got our menu section here where it stores all our applications. You can also access that from the settings menu. If you go into there and you go into apps, it displays them all here, and that's quite nice and neatly. As well as that, if you want to maybe force shut down an app, you can, and all your usual settings maybe you're used to seeing in your Lollipop or Marshmallow or even KitKat are all in there. Just a little bit different layout, of course. Now, if we have a look, now we've had a few issues over the last couple of TV boxes we've been reviewing, and yes, it's exactly the same on this one. Now for some reason, a lot of manufacturers have been compiling their firmware, but they've been missing out the actual taskbars, the task menus that we've all became very familiar with over the years with Android devices, being able to pull up these taskbars. Unfortunately, it's missing on this firmware. The only box we've actually managed to see it on is the TX9, which we actually done a review on just a few days ago, and it's actually present on there, but for some reason a lot of the Nougat TV boxes we're seeing coming from China nowadays, it just doesn't seem to be on it for some reason, and I don't know what really the issue is. Maybe they're missing something out when compiling, or they just don't see any need for it, which is absolutely fine. I mean, it's not that big a deal really, but I do like to see it, because it can come in handy, especially, force closing an app, and maybe you've got an issue with an app and you just need to shut it down really quickly. It's a bit more difficult without that task menu. But as you can see, we've got the settings menu here, and it's just our standard setting menu. Everything's running nicely. We can go to about there and see all the different options, and we can go up here and we can, and there we go. That's pretty much the launcher and how to access all your apps, etc. And it's nice and clean, it's nice and straightforward. You can add extra apps to the menu if you want to. Come out there, we're all used to this sort of setup where we add our applications, but there we go. So let's move on now to the gaming section, see how this box handles some games. So this is Asphalt 8, and this is set to high settings, and as you can see, it's actually really playable. I wasn't expecting this at all. I was expecting it to be, just a little bit sluggish, but actually it's quite playable on high settings. Now if we move over now to medium settings, you can see it's running a lot better. So if you were wanting to play a quite intensive game like this on your Android W95 TV box, then I would highly recommend you turn the settings down to something like medium or even low if you want to get the absolute most out of your gaming. But overall, yes, it's really good. And as you can see, these simpler games run perfectly. This is pre-installed on this device. Or if we even try and run this game Sonic, this is just an Android conversion, and it's absolutely fine. I would imagine as well emulated games, etc. would run absolutely perfectly on this device. Obviously we've got joypad drivers built into this box. I would only recommend you use an Xbox 360 official controller. I've used generic controllers on the X96 we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, and a few different S905W boxes, and I only find official Xbox 360 controllers work properly. Now that's probably due down to Amlogic at some stage in the development, but only the joypad drivers for official Xbox 360 controllers seem to be present in this Nougat firmware. So for you Netflix users out there, unfortunately this box is not going to fully support it. It is not only rooted, so Netflix at the moment requires an unrooted device. It's also got DRM level 3, and as we know, we need level 1 to actually get the absolute most out of Netflix. As well as that, if we go into the Play Store, it doesn't allow us to download Netflix, so we will have to install it from just an APK installation, so you have to go on the internet, download it from a reliable source and install it that way. You should be able to absolutely be fine when running it, but you will be restricted to say 480p or something like that, because Netflix does not like rooted devices, nor does it like level 3 wideband DRM protection. You do need the level 1 wideband protection to actually play back HD 4K content on your Netflix subscription. So for you users who are interested in maybe using Kodi, most people buying these types of boxes are, and you'll find that Kodi works absolutely fine. Going through the menus is nice and smooth. So let's check out some video playback on YouTube, and let's see how it handles this regular HD content. Let's see if it runs nice and smooth as we should expect it to. So in conclusion guys, the W95 Android TV box is really good value for money. Now, it's not perfect by any means, it's running just standard Android rather than Android TV. It's not Google certified, it's not Netflix certified. Widevine level 3 is not great really, so we can't get the most out of Netflix and some other apps. And as well as that, it's rooted, which, you know, nowadays we don't really want to see because again, Netflix doesn't like it and a lot of people use Netflix. But overall, look, it's £19. And overall, it's such a good value for money, really, if you're just after a cheap TV box to maybe put in the spare bedroom, or if you're on a budget, then this is a fantastic device and you should consider this. Now, we've done a review on an X96 Mini, it's basically the same hardware as this, but it's not produced by Beelink. The reason I'm recommending this box is because it's a Beelink product. They've really went to town with the firmware on this and it's quite stable. It's not perfect, but it's stable. It does what we need it to do. As we've seen, it run games pretty well. Kodi runs well, YouTube runs well, and overall video playback should be really good on this device. You know, it doesn't, you know, score very good Antutu benchmark, but you know, there we go. That's just the way it goes. But as we've seen, everything that I would like to use this box for, it can do. And it can do it pretty well. So overall, big thumbs up from me. It's a very cheap box. I mean, if it was twice the price, I'd certainly say avoid it, go for something else. But it's £19 or £23 for the 2GB version that I've got here. So that pretty much concludes this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope I've went in depth with all the different things that you probably want to know about it. My name's Matthew and you've been watching the MXQ Project. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at MXQ Project. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the MXQ Project as well. Check us out on Facebook. We've got a nice big community of people over there as well. As well as that, we've got our website, themxqproject.com, plenty of reviews, tutorials, etc. over on there. So thanks for watching guys, and we shall see you in the next one.